Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Brahmanandam Param Sukhadam Kevalam Jnana Murtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasya Laksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Triguna-rahitam Sadgurum Tam Namam. Om. Adorations to Sadguru, who is Brahman, the giver of supreme bliss, embodiment of pure consciousness, one without a second, vast as the ether, infinite, eternal, beyond the three gunas and their modifications, the supreme preceptor. Yoga Vasistha Nirvana Prakarana Purvārdha, section 37, entitled The Dance of the Time Spirit. All that is happening is a part of the time spirit dancing. If time stops, nothing will happen. But time is not only just swift moving, but it dances. It brings the same problem again and again. One time for the time. And who is the teacher here? Lord Shiva himself, imparting this wisdom to sage Vasistha. Though the powers of the Supreme Self are boundless, there are five categories from a broad point of view. Ichchha Shakti, the energy of will. Vyoma Shakti, the energy of manifesting space. Kala Shakti, the energy that manifests in the form of time. Niyati Shakti, the energy of destiny. And Mahashakti, the great energy which permeates and sustains all. Normally you are told three Shaktis: Ichchha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti. Ichchha Shakti, first we start rather with Kriya Shakti. Kriya Shakti is karma. What the energy required for performing your actions. It's Kriya Shakti. The energy required in controlling your sentiments. That's Ichchha Shakti. The energy required for attaining enlightenment. Jnana Shakti. These three Shaktis remove three knots of the heart: karma, kama, avidya. But these three Shaktis are further extended in this topic. So in an extended way, Ichchha Shakti, already explained. Vyoma Shakti, the energy of manifesting space. What does that imply? Every experience that you have, experience of contraction, that requires energy. Experience of expansion, that also requires energy. Same energy in two modes. So, and Vyoma Shakti, if you want more detail, experiencing expansion in physical plane, in subtle plane, and in absolute stage. Vyom is Akasha. Akasha is three types. Bhutakash, physical space. Chittakash, all that space needed for the operation of your mental process. And Chidakash is absolute space, pure awareness. So, spiritual progress is characterized by experience of spaciousness in three dimensions. If you are experiencing expansion in your vasana stage because of purity of vasana, purity of subtle desires, your sentiments become positive, divine. Now the expansion that you experience is far beyond the expansion that you would experience in physical plane. But from a practical point of view, also understand that this internal expansion makes you enjoy the physical expansion in a more profound way. Otherwise, physically you can be placed in the most enchanting place and you can be most miserable, as if you are in a hell. Put it another way, if you have that internal expansion due to purity of vasana, then even if you are placed in hell, hell explodes, turns into heaven. Same negative setup of the world is not viewed by sages as a negative. All this is divine Leela. So this is about Vyoma Shakti. Kala Shakti, what type of time you are facing. Time in so many ways, even the very practical physical time, hangs heavy if you are in a state of suspense. And if you are exceedingly joyous internally, time flies. So, time stopping to fly requires energy. Time begins to fly, that requires the same energy operating another way. It is Prakriti Shakti, that which is Maya Shakti of God, God's magical power, that creates all this illusion of time, space, causation. And you have very simple illustration of in your dream, how within a short time you slip into dream. And in dream, Vyoma Shakti is there. You experience expansion in your dream. Sometimes you can fly. You have Kala Shakti. Time passes and you are worried about something. And time has gone so far. 12 years have been spent in your 5 minutes of dream. So experiences based on time, space, causation, all these are Maya. Niyati Shakti. You do karma and karma has to bring fruit. That's called destiny, Niyati. But it requires energy. Karma has has to have strength to sit down until it bears fruit. So the karmic movement requires energy behind it. Same Prakriti Shakti, Prakriti Devi gives energy to your karmic process. And Maha Shakti is pure, absolute Prakriti Shakti, which is magical power of Brahman. And therefore, nothing but Brahman. Furthermore, these Shaktis have assumed different forms in relation to the individual souls. Souls are led by different karmas, and they are in different stages of evolution, spiritual evolution. Therefore, Prakriti Shakti operates in different ways. Same time, that period that everybody lives by. To one who has negative karma is such a pressure. One who has positive karma is so delightful. Wonderful time passes on. So different individual souls experience these Shaktis in different ways. And every individual soul at different stages experience time in different ways and experience different Shaktis that we have described in different ways. They manifest as Jnana Shakti. Now, advanced stage of Shakti description, Jnana Shakti, that type of mystic energy that underlies the process of transformation or the process of, just like when you are dreaming, sleeping, energy is needed to wake up. In this world, you are either dreaming or sleeping. The world is like a long dream. If you are gripped more with tamas, the world is as if you are sleeping. But in order to be awakened from the dormant state, you need energy. That energy comes from Prakriti Shakti, which is essentially Brahman. So Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Pravritti Shakti, and Nivritti Shakti. Pravritti Shakti, that type of energy, is the advanced mode of Prakriti that keeps you bonded with the law of karma. Pravritti versus Nivritti. Pravritti means your goal is somewhere in the world of time and space. Now, if not in this life, in next life. You are keeping up your repeated embodiments with this illusion that you will find perfect happiness. That's Pravritti Shakti. That Pravritti Shakti has to be weakened by Nivritti, by developing Vairagya and Viveka. Nivritti Shakti has two stages. As you develop more and more Vairagya and Viveka, dispassion and discrimination, increasingly you are developing Nivritti Shakti, because that Shakti now puts your whole aspiration away from being born, away from the cycle of birth and death. Your aspiration is directed towards liberation, moksha. Again, I will remind you of those two terms, bhava pratyaya and pratyaya bhava. You watch a show, your whole mind is involved while you are watching the show, how the story unfolds in the show. And that's your aspiration, your happiness lies in change in the mode of stories. Now, this allegorical description, what it implies, you are always looking for a settled state in the world based on your karma. So whatever experience you have based on your karma, that cannot be perfect. It is a state of watching the show. But the another stage where the show itself completely withdrawn, that's called pratyaya bhava. Bhava pratyaya, presence of the show, presence of projection. Pratyaya bhava, projection deleted, absence of projection. Absence of projection is Nivritti Shakti. And that's what people who receive sannyasa initiation, they are initiated into that movement. Not to be bounded by law of karma, but to attain liberation, where you don't attain anything. You simply have revelation of who am I. Aham Brahmasmi. Your I am is trapped by illusion of Maya and has become, it plays the role of ego. Now, in the state of liberation, that ego personality is completely negated. And I am shines forth, which is Aham Brahmasmi. O sage, there is no difference between Shakti and one who possesses the Shakti. Shakti and Shaktiman, there is no difference. Magical power and the magician, no difference. Brahman and Prakriti, no difference. The Absolute Self and his Shakti, both are one and the same. Of the numerous powers that emanate from the Self, neither do they add nor take anything away from the Self. The magical power creates so many things, but all that is created by the magical power doesn't impact on the magician. He is just the same person. So, all your experiences in the state of bondage are caused by the magical power of Prakriti through avidya, ignorance. And all that you have gained through ignorance have no gain at all. From essential point of view, you are ever Purna, full. Avidya makes you a fool. If you don't want to stay as a fool, try to understand the implication of the term full. It is infinity not just mathematical infinity, is the mystic infinity. No matter what you imagine to add into that infinity, infinity remains the same. No matter according to the imagination, however much has been drawn from the infinity, infinity remains infinity. The infinity, Purnam, that no matter how your dream goes on, you wake up, speaking allegorically, nothing, you have not lost anything. In your dream, you lost lot of things. You lost your lottery ticket. You wake up, neither gain nor loss. The dream things, speaking in a very rough way, they have not really impacted your practical reality. This is just an illustration how things do happen and we experience them. But in your essential level, you are ever the same. So many things happen in the sky, but the sky remains all exactly the same. Nothing can be taken away from it. Nothing can be added to it. Just as waves of numerous shapes and forms arise in the ocean, in the same way, numerous energies with relation to knowing, acting, enjoying, witnessing, arise like waves in the ocean of the self. Ocean of the self, Brahman. All the energies that we described through Prakriti, they are operative in all your experiences. The experiences, you are knowing certain things, trying to figure that out, learning, you are acting, you are enjoying, and you are just watching. All your experiences in all details require energy behind it. The great God manifesting as Mahakal, the great time spirit, becomes the director of the drama of the world process. And behind all these operations after, they are playing a tremendous role. Big drama goes on. And who is the director of all this drama? Shakti, source of all the Shakti, Mahashakti. That's Brahman. That Brahman is your I am. It is he who prepares numerous Shaktis for their different roles in the world. And it is Brahman who is directing these different modes of Shaktis to let everyone experience their spiritual progress as well as their fruits of their karma. Anything that you are experiencing, anything that you are waiting to experience, behind it is the operation of Shakti. And that operation of Shakti is being directed by Brahman. Put it in more subtle manner, this is what the Gita, Lord Krishna, gave to Arjuna, the teaching. Upadrashtanumamtacha bharta bhokta maheshwara. That God is overseeing spiritual aspirants, upadrashta. When you are in a more spiritually sensitive, you are not just within the view of God. But God as if inspires you, as if you are in mother's arms and mother touches you. That Anumanta encouraging you. You did good and God pats your back. You receive a special inspiration. Who did it? God. And God supports you. So much so you begin to understand that God is the only reality in your personality. So even when you are enjoying something, real enjoyer is God Himself. And finally, a revelation that God and you are one and the same. Soham asmi, that am I. It is Kriya Shakti, the divine power, manifesting as time, that ordains changes and modifications in all objects of the world. Nothing eludes the grasp of time. All these are allegorical description of time. Nothing can happen unless there is time involved in it. So entire story of the universe, from beginningless time to endless time, all that is a play of Kriya Shakti. It's time, as it were, is dancing. And you are trapped in the dance of time because of ignorance. Attaining wisdom, the time spirit is under the feet of Lord Shiva. Kal no longer dances. In simple way of saying, time doesn't exist. Even in your deep sleep, time vanishes. As long as this time spirit, with its power of destiny, is not negated by the realization of the self, so long it will continue to dance in the dramatic performance of this world. So this entire world is a perpetual dance of the time spirit. It's a good entertainment. Constant dance. And that's what gives value to the news media. The news goes on break. They don't break. They begin to break their heads. Joke. It is the perspiration of the time spirit that showers through the rain. Allegorical, poetic description. Even the rains come. It is as if time spirit dancing and perspiration begin to fall. It is the ornaments of time spirit that jingle with the surging ocean. You hear the jingling of the surging ocean, hear the sound of the waterfall, running streams, the blowing of the wind. It is behind that, it is ornaments of the time spirit. Time spirit is very fashionable. So lots of ornaments. The wrists, the feet, the neck, and the arms, they all jingle. So every jungle is filled with the jingle of the time spirit. And the world is a vast jungle, a vast forest. The hours, days, months and years, these are the different adornments for the body of the time spirit. The dance of the time spirit manifests all the sentiments that rule the human heart. This is an important point to understand. All the sentiments are described in the term of 9 Navarasa, 9 modes of sentiments. And just to give you the idea, first one is called Shringar Rasa. It's a sweet sentiment. Shringar is the highest climax. Shring refers to the horn in an animal. So it's like a pearl stage, highest stage. Amorous experience, speaking in a worldly way, amorous sentiment. But amorous sentiment is worldly way. Spiritual way, Ram Ras sentiment. Krishna Ras sentiment. God is the source of boundless love. He is essentially love of love. That movement that tickles your heart with divine love and makes you dance like Radha and Krishna, the Shringar sentiment. Veera Ras, heroic sentiment. People go to see films, cinemas. They are always looking for their hero. One person's hero may not be another person's hero. But people have their own level of evolution and their own concept of seeing their hero do amazing things. So hero sentiment. In spiritual way, you have hero sentiment presented by Pandavas and all avatars and their associates, and ultimately all aspirants. Be a hero. Heroic sentiment is hidden in everyone. It enables you to fight the battle of life in a profound way, unshaken by challenges. Then the rasa is Karuna Ras, sentiment of compassion. Each time something happens to your near and dear ones and you feel tender touch in your heart. And that touch can be positive, can be negative. That's Karunya Ras. Next Ras goes Adbhuta Ras. Adbhut means startling. Some sentiment of that sparks up your eyes and you become so amazed, and you need that. All these sentiments are like little drinks, tonics. They're needed by every individual. If you don't get the positive one, you plan to get whatever you can. And therefore, if negative sentiments begin to grow, you are promoting a hell for yourself. Positive sentiments, you are getting out of hell. And that's the purpose of the scriptural stories of sages, saints, and incarnations. Ramayana, for example, illustrates all these sentiments, each sentiment directed to Ram. And that's the ideal, to allow all your sentiments to be purposeful. They all are singing, as it were, the glory of God. So you're not experiencing glory of God only one aspect of your personality, but all your sentiments become involved in glorifying God. And then there is Haasa, humorous sentiment. And that you can understand the importance of it. Yeah. A little pinch of humor enables a person to be relaxed and listen to the teachings in a profound way. But when there is no humor at all that you heard is a rumor. Nothing but interesting. It is Brahman that assumes the role of the time spirit and continues to dance through the changes and modifications of the soul. And there is sentiment, bhayanak sentiment, that causes fearsome. And then there is sentiment called V37, disgusting. You see animals vomiting flesh and blood. It's not disgusting. And then sentiment known as Raudra, that's terror-producing sentiment, terrifying sentiment. Terrifying can be positive, can see the negative in you under terror. When you see the army of Ravana being crushed down, it's an inspiring sentiment. But when you see your positive crushed down, it's a real terrible sentiment. Double terror. And then there is Shant sentiment. Calm, relaxed. So these sentiments are the ahar, nutrition for your subtle personality. And satsanga movement uses these sentiments in an artistic way to arouse sentiments that awaken love of God in your heart. It is the perspiration of the time spirit that showers through the rain, etc. The sun and moons are its earrings. Continue the poetic description of the time. The entire universe is providing you a source of sentiment. This Navarasas, 9 types of sentiments. If you are not led by purified vision, then you are picking up rotten sentiments. Purified vision picks up positive sentiments. Allegorically, that's what we describe as petals. Think of your heart as a lotus. These sentiments are the petals of the lotus. And all these petals are glorifying whom? The self that shines at the center of the lotus. The sun and moon are its earrings. Think of the cosmic plan of time. Wow. So many suns and moons have come and gone. And they are earrings. You should listen to the notes of the earring. Numerous stars shine as the drops of perspiration on the face of the time spirit. And the placid sky reveals itself through its soft smile. The time spirit sometimes smiles soft. The moment time smiles, sky, so expansion is experienced by you. It is Brahman that assumes the role of the time spirit and continues to dance through the changes and modifications of the soul. So, we will let him dance. All this is told to make you understand the power, the glory of Brahman, the Absolute. And that's your essential nature. That's the purpose of your life. But in order to reach that purpose, your daily life should not become a basis of boredom and basis of negative sentiments, but it should become inspiring movement. Adversity, prosperity, birth and death, all things that happen, they are all the jingles and the bells and different ornaments of the time spirit. And behind the time spirit, the spirit of spirit, Brahman. And that Brahman is the reality. Everyone is Aham Brahmasmi. Om Ram 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 Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om. Prayer for shower of Karunamaya Rasa grace of God over all, with the blessings of Shakti that we have described, Bhakti and Mukti. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukuva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshyamamritat. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kashid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Hari Om Tat Sat.